For a short little video, usually I've been chatting about like lol cags or whatever, but there's one part of my life, because I used to work at Bristol Zoo as a gardener and stuff, and it's not that relevant if anyone looks to, I don't know, mock me for my opinions or whatever, but there is a very, not necessarily recent, but there's a rule on certain garden plants, tropical ones, called Gunnera. They're basically what the layperson would see are like giant rhubarb but very spiky. And the thing here in the UK, the recent ban on one species called Tinctoria. I think they're Chilean, but there's other species called Manicator. And the problem I find a lot are, and on Facebook and other groups, also I'm vibrating a lot. A lot of groups I look at, and it's a lot of arguments here and there. And lots of people who are like, oh, well, I'm going to buy this plant, or I'll buy that plant. And the thing is, I see issues why some people be confused. So there's one main species which are definitely banned in the UK now since 2017, so it's been 8 years. But, I guess we love the massive leaved plants in our gardens. But some of them are illegal now. The one that are illegal are Gunnera Victoria and the Cross Victoria. There is one that is legal, which are confused often for Tinctoria, but I kind of understand the confusion. However, I sometimes see them plants around Bristol, around some botanical gardens, and people's gardens who have them. In a way, I kind of understand how would you know? Because the thing is, the difference between them is very subtle, and if you don't really get it. But then again, it's like, I'd say the law is you cannot have Tinctoria. Anything that is labelled Manicar, or you should doubt. But then again, learn for yourself, but don't always believe the people who are say, oh, well, this is that. It's like, no, don't believe it on its own, but do your own research on it. As far as I know, I've come across actual Tinctoria, actual Manicatura. I do see a lot of hybridisation around the UK, but I really despise people on whatever groups on Facebook, whatever social media say, oh, this plant is illegal or not. Because in the UK, it's like, you ain't going to get arrested for it. But it's more the government saying, right, if you've got any garden, dig it out and kill it. But I think it's more of a push to get anyone who has a garden and has plants, which are fancy. They just want to control people, really. I mean, to be fair, it's possible to have all sorts of exotic plants in your garden and control them, but the problem's more about management, and that a lot of people don't want to go into this land, that land. It's like, we'll just do it anyway to sell the neighbour, well, sorry, I have to remove it because there's a threat. Even if it's going onto a person's private land, it's still removing a threat that's on your own. I do apologise that I usually talk about lol cows, like the President Morrison and a certain goblin in Akron, Ohio. They chat about him at some point. I'll make a separate video in a minute. I'm drunk enough. But I mean, I don't know. I see a lot of time. I love my plants and stuff, but God, there's time that people complain. But some people bring up, oh, I got this plant. And you get people who are like, oh no, it's actually this. And it's like, you do not know that. The onus are on you to prove it is not that. However, I do believe anyone who has anything like plant-wise, you buy it for your garden. Of course, it might be a threat to local wildlife. Use common sense. Be sensible. Research about it. Yeah, something that looks amazing. You're bored about the boring privet. You're bored about oak trees or whatever. But it's like, be sensible in yourself. Although, to be fair, should get rid of bamboo, ban that crap, fuck that. bamboo, golden bamboo for the Stachys rat area. That, oh my god, that's worse. Because you think it ain't creeping and it creeps on it. Well, I can apologise to you tourist back weirdos on the internet, but oh well, I like that.